Welcome back to City Law, City Justice. In our last segment, we have something a little different for you today. We have two guests who are not police officers, believe it or not. First, we have Ms. Teresa Davis and her attorney, Clint Wallace. Thank you both for coming in today and joining us.
Thank you.
My other guests are usually captive because I can make them come in because I can say, hey, I need you to come to the show. But you guys are here on your own volition. You volunteered to come in.
That's exactly. Right.
So, Ms. Davis, let's start with you. Why do you want to be on our TV show?
Well, it's all about education, as we were talking before. Open house parties can be a serious problem, and especially when there are younger people involved. It doesn't necessarily have to be a huge crowd of hundreds of people. Open house parties can consist of just a small amount of people. But when there's alcohol involved, underage drinking, it always ends in a tragedy. Either someone getting killed or someone killing or hurting another person. So we just want to make the community aware that this is a problem and let the parents know that, it
can lead to terrible things.
It very well can.
And can you tell us your story?
I can. My daughter, 18 at the time, was at a home here in town, and they had an open house party. And
large party, small party?
No, actually, it was only about 7 people.
So very
maybe.
Small.
Yes, with an adult present. Of course, the plan was, we're just going to have this party, we're just going to stay here, no big deal. Which, in a way, you can kind of understand a parent going, okay, as long as you guys are here, then we're fine with that. But unfortunately, that night, they didn't stick to the plan. So Taylor left the party that night.
And Taylor is
Is my daughter.
Okay.
And she was killed.
By a vehicle accident or?
Single car crash, yes.
And was there anybody else in the car at the time of the crash?
No, sir.
Okay, so she decided to leave and drove away.
Drove away.
And she had a single car accident and lost her life.
Yes, sir.
Well, that is a terrible tragedy.
It is.
I'm very sorry to hear that happened to your daughter.
Thank you.
So I think the most important thing is that we make sure people are aware that it doesn't have to be 800 people.
No.
It doesn't have to be 20 people.
No.
Anytime you get together in a group and alcohol is involved, bad things can happen.
Yes, exactly.
Very much so. And Mr. Wallace, you're representing, or you're her attorney, I'm assuming?
I am, and I've been very proud of Teresa. She's taken this tragedy. You can't imagine the pain that she's gone through, and she's using this as an education tool so that hopefully other people don't have to endure what she and her family have had to go through. And we've been very proud of her efforts to do that, and I think she's made a big impact.
Absolutely, absolutely. Coming on this show is certainly a step. And are there any other? I guess I want to ask the question correctly. What other educational avenues have you gone down to make sure that your story and the education is getting out?
Well, I've actually been in contact with some local senators and state representatives, and we're trying to get.
We're trying to strengthen the open house party law as it currently sits. For a lot of people don't know what the open house party law is, but what it does is it says if you, an adult, allow minors to consume alcohol or drugs in a place that you're in control of, then you can have criminal and civil liabilities for that.
And an adult meaning over the age of?
Currently, it's someone over the age of 18.
Okay.
Okay. And there's heightened penalties if the violation of the open house party results in serious bodily injury or death, like it happened in this circumstances. And what we're hoping to do is educate the public on the open house party statute and the dangers of what can happen if you allow minors to drink, and to bring that to the forefront. Okay. A lot of people, the question is, well, I have kids and I've raised them well, but kids make bad decisions sometimes. What if they're at my St. George house and I'm not there, and they have a party? Am I criminally liable for that? And the answer is no. It requires actual knowledge, and that's what it makes it egregious to us. If you have actual knowledge that minors are drinking, you don't take steps to stop it, then unfortunately bad things like this happen.
Right. I mean, it would almost be common sense to say that if your children are under the legal drinking age and you're allowing them to drink in your presence, that you're going to be held liable for that if something terrible occurs. But if you're not there, it's like saying I didn't know, I couldn't possibly know what was going on. I wasn't there, and no one made me aware of the situation.
Exactly.
So, absolutely. And in this case with Taylor, there was somebody who was of age and should have known or did know that this was occurring in their presence.
Exactly.
And then she decided to leave, unfortunately, at that
Yes,
time.
sir. Mm-hmm.
So, what else can we do to make sure that the community knows how these tragedies can occur?
We're just trying to get the word out. I've spoken to people about going into the schools and talking to the kids there. I've been in contact with a news anchor that is talking to me about maybe putting a story in the Tallahassee Democrat in regards to this. We just want to let it be known that, you know, this is against the law. No matter, we know you think you're doing a good thing by allowing them to do it supervised.
Right. They think they're making the moral decision. That
Right.
I know what's going on. I'm an adult. I can handle this.
Exactly.
They're here with me. I mean, when I was growing up, that was the thought process. That if they're at if you're at somebody's house and you're not going anywhere, you know, the whole idea of the key master. When you walk in, you give the person the keys, and then you're allowed to have the party, and no one's going to get hurt. But unfortunately, it doesn't always work that
And
way.
it's not always DUIs that we're talking about. I mean, when minors consume alcohol, it can be sexual batteries. It can be, you know, other things happen. There's a reason why minors aren't allowed to drink. It's because they're too inexperienced to know how to enjoy it responsibly.
Absolutely. And at the age of 18, 19, you start to have the responsibilities of becoming an adult, but the unfortunately part that you're not quite ready to have all that alcohol in your system.
Exactly.
Is probably where it ends up going. Well, we are coming to the end of our segment. Is there anything that we have not talked about that you would like the public to know?
Teresa's done a good job as well. She hasn't mentioned the education she's given to the Lincoln High School seniors. She set up a scholarship along with our firm where we award a Lincoln High School senior a scholarship in her daughter's honor every year, and that helps educate it because it's part of the process. They write an essay and they learn about Taylor and what an amazing person she was, and that's a great thing that Teresa's done.
Well, as a former Lincoln High School teacher, I say thank you for doing that. I was a teacher before I became an officer, and it was at Lincoln. So I do appreciate you helping out my old alma mater over there. Anything else? Last words?
Just, you know, parents, just please stop and think. Before you allow this to happen, we know you're doing it with the best of intentions, but plans fall apart, kids waver from the plan, and just so this doesn't happen to anyone else, just please think before you allow this to happen. Just one no can save someone's life.
Very, very true. And I couldn't have said it better myself. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate your time. I know this was on your own time. Again, thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you very much. We appreciate it.
As you can see, it doesn't matter if the party has 800 people or 7 people. Tragedy can strike at any time. Please take the appropriate steps to make sure your children are safe and that all of us get home safely. We'll see you next time on City Law, City Justice.